So I'm going to do problem number 23 on the final review sheet. So final review, problem 23, and the problem's read x to the 1/2 over 3x to the 2/3, and then that's all being raised to the -3rd power. What you're going to do when you have a power to a power is multiply your exponents. So it's going to be x to the 1/2 times -3 over 1 divided by, don't forget to make sure that you distribute the -3 with your 3 that's over here, 3 to the -3rd, x to the 2/3 times -3 over 1. Multiplying, you end up with x to the, whoops, this should have been a negative here, and this should have been a negative there. Okay, so x to the 3/2 over 3 to the -3rd, x to the -2nd. And now what I tell you to do is to circle any term with the power, and that tells me that it needs to be moved. So my 3 to the -3rd needs to be moved, and my x to the -2nd needs to be moved. And I need to move them up top. Notice I'm not moving the x to the 3/2. It's a positive exponent. It does not need to be moved. So I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And I end up with 3 to the +3rd now, x to the +2nd, x to the +3/2. Now I'm going to combine my x's, and since I have the same base, I'm going to add my exponents. So I have 3 to the 3rd, x to the 2 over 1 plus 3 over 2. So to be able to add these exponents, I need to find a common denominator. The common denominator is going to be 2. So 2 over 1 becomes 4 over 2. So I end up with 3 to the 3rd, x to the 4 over 2 plus 3 over 2. I'm going to multiply out my 3 to the 3rd. Remember, this is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. X, and then I'm going to add my exponents. Since I have the same denominator, I just add the numerators, and it becomes 7/2. So my answer for number 23 is 27 x to the 7/2. The next problem I'm going to do is problem number 80 on page 148, and that problem is x to the 7/8 divided by x to the 8/7. So on this particular problem, I have the same base, and my rules of exponents say that if I have the same base and I'm dividing, I'm going to subtract my exponents. So I can rewrite this then as x to the 7/8 minus 8/7. To be able to subtract, I need to find a common denominator. The common denominator for 8 and 7, 56. So I'm going to write off to the side here my equivalent fractions I'm going to obtain. So I have 7/8. I'm going to make it into a new fraction where 56 is my denominator. And I have 8/7, and I'm going to make it into a new fraction, again, where 56 is my denominator. So 7/8, I need to multiply 8 by 7 to get to 56. So I'm going to need to multiply 7 by 7, which gives me 49. Over here, I needed to multiply 7 by 8. I'm going to multiply 8 by 8, and I come up with 64. So now my problem becomes x to the 49/56 minus 64/56. When I subtract, I end up with x to the -15/56. We don't ever want to leave our answers with a negative exponent. So I'm going to again circle this. That means I need to move it. Well, where am I going to move it? I don't have a fraction. Well, I'm going to make myself a fraction so I can move it. And when I move it, it becomes 1 over x to the 15 56. And that is my answer. The next problem I'm going to do is problem 92 in the same section on page 148. Problem 92 starts off with a to the negative 1/5 divided by b to the 1/3, and that's all going to be taken to the 15th power. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my exponent in, and when I bring it inside, it's going to be multiplied. So it's going to be a to the negative 1/5 times 15 over 1 divided by b to the 1/3 times 15 over 1. Multiplying, this becomes a to the negative 1/3 over b to the 5th. Never want to leave my answer with negative exponents, so I'm going to move anything that has a negative exponent in it. I move it downstairs, and when I move it downstairs, I'm not going to have anything left upstairs, am I? Well, yes, I am. I'm left over with a 1 upstairs. So it becomes 1 over a to the 3rd, b to the 5th.